So our next speaker is Professor Dr. B. Ramasamy sir, Vice Chancellor, BJS University, Rajasthan. He is an expert committee member of UGC, Government of India, and also he is a member of ARIA for Non-Technical Institution, Ministry of Education, and AICT Innovation Cell, Government of India. He is also a chairman for Standing Appellate Committee and Standing Hearing Committee Approval Bureau, AICT, Government of India. And he's a professor is for his he's an educator, author, advisor, and legal expert and a motivational speaker. He's an adjunct professor of State University of New York, the largest university in USA, and he is an advisor of National Education Foundation, New York, USA. He has been an associate member of National Lok Adalat Court of Delhi, legal resource person for Delhi Legal Service Authority, and he is a life member of Indian Law Institute, Supreme Court of India. He is a life member of International Law Association, that is a peace and justice through law, and he is a life member of the Mediation and Conciliation Network. And he has written many special books on law, particularly on women and law, mediation, abbreviation, and other ADR methods, and IPR and law, and human rights, disability and law, human rights for women, international human rights. So he has written a lot of books. He has obtained all his qualifications from reputed institutions, that is concerned, and universities such as Loyola College, Delhi School of Economics, and National Law University, Indian Law Institute. He got a honorary doctorate from Cosmopolitan University, USA, and Inter-American University of Humanistic Studies, Florida, USA, in the field of social science. He was also awarded as a honorary doctorate on humanities in Apostolic International University, affiliated with and accredited by International Institute of Church Management, Florida, USA. He has been recently awarded as a D.Litt from International Economics University, Maldives. He has been a visiting fellow advisor member in several prestigious institutes like IIT Roorkee, Yashda, Raj Bhavan, Pune, and in NIPSET, Government of India. He has published more than 250 articles and books, both in national as well as in international magazines. He continues to write articles in leading magazines and newspapers. Being a renowned social scientist, he motivates large number of youth of the country. He makes a tremendous impact while delivering each lecture, which brings huge mind transformation to the youth of India towards the national building. Being an expert of social scientists, development, economics, and educationists, he has been interviewed regularly by various electronic media, TV channels, and press. He has received more than 75 awards at the national and international level, including the recent one in December 27, 2019, the Kautilya Award for academic contributions on development economics, and award was given by Honorable Vice President of India. He has so far produced more than over 1,000 civil service officers in the country for national building. With such enlightened profile of Professor Ramasamy sir, I welcome him to deliver his speech. Welcome, sir, for the conference, and you can carry on your speech, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to the institution of MET, the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, and the Department of Marine Biotechnology and Young Academy of India. I'm very grateful to the organizers of Academy of Maritime Education and Training as a deemed university located in Tamil Nadu, Chennai. The topic is extremely motivating and inspiring and very informative. And it is also the right time that you started this program. Particularly academicians, we are responsible to bring number of awareness programs for the participants, professors, researchers, our own internal staff, and so on. I'm very thankful to this university in this initiative. I believe that UGC also writes letter to the all the institutions, all the universities to run such program. Based on this topic, my intervention would be that today's national level seminar is based on diagnosis, management, and vaccination for COVID-19. I would like to take up one area, that is management. In management, one issue which I would like to develop on, create a kind of mindset to the audience, the participants, is the psychological aspects. Why psychological aspect is important? I don't know. All of you would appreciate, the participants, that those doctors who have been speaking, not only in this program, throughout the India and the world, they talk about psychology. They talk about internal strength. Once we don't discuss the psychological aspects, social aspects, then we actually miss the real aspects of COVID-19. Therefore, I'm very happy that these organizers have taken a very vivid, intimate decision looking at the psychological aspects, having discussed the medical aspects, having discussed the diagnostic aspects, having discussed the medical, social, psychological aspects. That is my motive aim for coming 10 minutes to discuss about this social psychological aspects. For that, I like to borrow certain ideas from few reports given by three major important institutions. Number one, Government of India. Number two, WHO, World Health Organization. Number three, Interagency Standing Committee. So those are the three reports I'm going to depend upon on my delivery of this a very short lecture. Based on those reports, analysis, solutions, informations, which I would like to share upon to this. Let me start with a very simple one single statement that would provoke you, that would make you to ignite, to think why these social psychological issues are important. The statement is this: normal people being exposed to this extraordinary situations. I repeat again, a normal people being exposed to this extraordinary situation. Yes, indeed. We are all normal people, extremely normal people. And these normal people who have been exposed in an extraordinary situation. Yes, situation is extraordinary. In this extraordinary, how these normal people are going to react? On the one hand, biological aspects, genealogical aspects, medical research aspects. On the other hand, social aspects, psychological aspects, mental health aspects, mental stamina aspects, that has to be discussed. That has to be dwelled upon. Because based on those three reports before I started this lecture, all those reports which very informatively explains that more than diagnosis, more than medicines, what is happening to the normal people is anxiety, depression, biological effects, appetite aspects, psychological aspects, feeling of loneliness, that is taking place, extremely taking place. And already there is a crisis of family crisis, children crisis, women crisis, poor crisis, poor community crisis, senior citizen crisis. The crises are accumulating every day when we start the lockdown, when we extend the lockdown. So the pandemic first response would be how to provide a psychological motivation, a psychological motivation. That is extremely important at this point of time, because we undergo unprecedented challenges, very unprecedented challenges towards mental health, towards psychological health, towards our character, our culture. We couldn't go to temple. We couldn't meet the neighbors. We couldn't talk to the neighbors. We couldn't meet our parents. We couldn't meet our relatives. We couldn't join any cultural programs. We couldn't go to any social programs. So COVID is creating unprecedented challenges. And the challenges which is converted into crisis, problems, challenges, deprivations, psychological problems, cultural problems, into specific domain, into specific culture, into specific character, into specific community, and so on. This is the issue today, right now. The question is, if these are the major problems, and those problems are not with one single individual, it is with wide variety of societies, globally. And those challenges, how are we going to face? Is medicine going to help? Indeed, medicine could help in terms of medications and so on. But beyond medicines, what is required is the psychological medicines. What is required is the internal motivation medicines. What is required is the inner strength medicines. And those medicines are not chemical-based medicines. Those medicines are based on motivational strength. That is required. Therefore, I said unprecedented challenges that we face to the normal human being. We are normal human beings, but in extraordinary situations, we are facing unprecedented challenges in terms of number of challenges, I would say. Unemployment challenges, economic challenges, cultural challenges. We have got challenges of feelings, emotions, depressions, deprivations, anxieties. My friend is dying, my relative is dying, my husband is dying, my wife is dying, my children dying, my relatives dying, and so on. And those anxieties and those deprivations further expanded by media, social media, print media, electronic media. All those medias are also playing very important, vibrant, at times negative role. Because media is indeed essential for us to know what is happening in US, what is happening in East Europe, what is happening in India, even India, what is happening in South India, North India, East India, West India. But those media should play a depression role, anger role. It is also an unprecedented challenge that we face during this COVID-19. Because the media portrays, let me give an example. Media portrays that in Delhi, every second people are dying without oxygen. But it is not true. Almost everything. It is not true. Yes, in one part of the places, in other part of society of Delhi, it is not true. But the media says that Delhi is horrific in nature. People are dying without oxygen. No oxygen available in any hospital. It has been branded. It has been created. Indeed, it is, some fact is there. I'm not saying that there is no fact, but this fact is not fully correct. And people who are sitting away from Delhi, sitting neighboring cities or neighboring places, they think that, oh, it's horrific. Everybody dying. So there is a smuggling of oxygen, smuggling of goods, smuggling of things, a crisis, anxiety, depression, deprivations, fear. And what is happening to the fear? Fear makes you to kill. Fear makes you to get depression. If anyone says, that's it, oh, Corona, COVID, oh God, what's happening? No. Which means the fear that is created in you, that I'll be killed. I'll be killed. Now that is actually killing at this point of time. This is creating anticipation of distress. This is creating anticipation of anxiety, This creating anticipation of fear. This great anticipation of a feeling of loneliness, a feeling of a kind of depression. We need medicine for this. This is a big challenge. Vaccines, no doubt we have. Medicines, we have. More than English medicines, the Siddha, the Ayurvedic, they are claiming that we will make them to clear this problem. Yet, is creating such a great. The policymakers must understand this. The policymakers must understand this. How do we solve these mental health problems? How do we solve these social health problems? How do you solve these community health problems? How do you solve this depression, anxiety? For that, we need to have a different device, more than vaccines. Of course, I'm not denying the vaccines. Vaccines are important. Medications are important. Along with the medications, what about anxiety? What about psychological problems? So we must have the management. We must have the disaster management for mental health. We must have disaster management for psychological health. We must have a disaster management for anxiety, fear over the children, over the women, over the lonely senior citizens. That is very important. We must provide adequate medical supplies. No doubt, we are concentrating. What about adequate supply of psychological, cultural cure? That has to be taken very serious manner. A social concern. A psychological concern affecting our mental health. The confirmed cases, media cases, burning cases, death cases, all that is creating a mental psycho challenge. So we must have a mental team in each clinic. We must have a mental team and in each block level, panchayat level, village level, state level, district level, national level, so that the policy makers can provide a kind of strong dose, a dose of anxiety, a dose of creating, removing the anxiety. That is more important right now, what I feel. What is the major solution for this? The major solution would be meditation, yoga. Meditation, yoga is extremely important. For meditation, yoga, you don't need to go outside. You can be at home. To do a kind of a daily exercise, daily yoga, daily meditation, you don't need to go outside. You don't need to meet your friends. We need to do it ourselves. Now we have online yoga, online meditation, online psychological advice, online motivational talk. We must listen. We must listen. We must do. We must wander around. We must involve our family members towards it so that we can come out of this anxiety along with the medications. Medications alone may not persistently would help you. Because along with the meditations, persistently, consistently, we need motivation, psychological cure, mental stamina, inner stamina. That is more important. We are not against any medication. Medication is indeed essential. Along with the medication, underlying, along with the medication, we need concentration on sleep, happiness, joyfulness, meditations, yoga, therapies. Very, very, very important. So you don't need to go out for that. Available in YouTube, available online, available in on-call, and so on. That is very crucial at this point of time, because unexplainable irritation which is going on among the individual, unexplained irritation going on among the senior citizen, unexplained irritation going on among the children. What are we going to do with that? What kind of medication are you going to give to them? What kind of mental health assessment that we do? We are doing health assessment. What about mental health assessment? What about community settings? What about family settings? That is more crucial at this point of time for me, for us. So that in addition, along with the medical health care, we become frontline master to cure the psychological aspects. While doing home quarantine, we're doing hospital quarantine, we also need to support a psychologist, a counselor for the children, for senior citizen, for pregnant women, person with physically challenged. We need to support them. We need to support them. Marginalized communities, we should support them. Village communities, we should support them. Because history of severe mental illness cannot make you to cure, even if you give medication. So we need to stop this severe mental disorder, severe mental distress, severe mental illness. That is the instrument we need to play at this point of time. In terms of good sleep, in terms of good eating, eating is required. During the COVID time, good eating is required. We must create good appetite. If we are eating well, we should fight towards such virus. So if you are mentally ill, mentally sick, mentally you are disturbed, you can't eat well, you can't sleep well. Then your interest on work will go away. Your interest on laughing, hugging, talking, everything will go away. So therefore, my humble request at this point of time would be that the policymakers must take a decision at this point of time to provide special counseling through online, special counseling through media, special counseling through social media to all those hospitals. Along with the doctors, there must be a counselor. Along with the doctors, there will be a psychologist, counselor. We got a huge percentage of counselors, psychologists, psychologists available in India. We must utilize them. Right now, every individual is ready to rush and go to the hospital and meet the medical doctor, but not the psychological doctor. So we must inject the psychological impact to the individual, saying that along with the medication, keep mental strength, keep a strong mental strength, inner strength, that nothing will happen. Be happy. Because while being happy, medication will work. That kind of a positive attitude towards individual is required at this point of time. This is the management aspects. I would like to request through this learned participants, through learned professors, that we must advise all our friends that be firm, be strong, psychologically be motivated. Read such books which can motivate you. Listen such lectures which can motivate you. So before we die, we feel that we are going to die. And imagine if inner strength is strong, we don't die. We don't die. We don't die. I'll give an example. In my own campus, I'm motivating all those professors, faculties, students, and so on, saying that be stable, mentally be strong, do yoga, do meditation, do all kind of joyful activities. Nothing will happen. But make sure you also do the medication. Along with the medication, we must also remember the psychological aspects, so that we are normal people. We can face any kind of extraordinary challenges at this point of time. The last point, before I proceed, I would say, listen good words, listen good things, and learn good things at this point of time. Because increasing anxiety creates family disputes, family crisis. Increasing children are being depressed. Senior citizens are unable to talk. They are being deprived. They need motivation. They need success. They need strong willpower. That is required at this point of time. That is possible through yoga, through meditation, through breathe in, breathe out, through agasana. By doing this, we can win over any kind of health aspects towards making ourselves strong mentally. Thank you so much. I believe that all of you, all the participants, all the learned professors, through you, I'm sending a message that we must be mentally strong. For that, we must do the yoga, meditation, listen some holiness, scriptures, reading, and so on. Thank you so much, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful lecture. The lecture was full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. Now we are open for interactive session. So there is one question from Komal Gupta: how to improve our inner strength?
Yeah, do meditation, yoga, reading spiritual books, reading spiritual books. Very, very important. Do yoga, do meditation, read spiritual books. All that is available online. All that is available online.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, nowadays people are, particularly the older people, they are hesitant to go for the vaccination.
Yes.
Their mentality is because a lot of things is shown in the media. So
Yes,
they are
correct.
so afraid. They are so afraid of
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And they are hesitant to go for the vaccination. What is your advice towards the particular?
Again, motivation, counseling. Counseling is required. We don't do counseling. That is the problem. And the media also portraying wrongly that if you take the first shot, you are going to have a reaction. Reaction makes you to die. One or two incidents, they generalize. And the senior citizen listen, the children listen, they get anxiety and fear. You are right, absolutely. Particularly senior citizens, they get fear. For that, we need to motivate them, counsel them. Psychologically, you have to counsel them.
Should I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask, sir. You can ask.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, myself, Dr. Pankaj Kumar Singh from IIT BHU.
Yes, Dr. Pankaj.
Your lecture was very nice.
Thank you, Professor.
I also follow these type of things like Osho statements and other lots of persons are saying about the maintaining peace in your heart and that thing. But my question is that if we are going to teach someone who is having some problem, the person is unable to listen your voice, even try to become negative on your response, then how you will go on to convince if the person is very much closer to you? How you are going to convince that person which is unable to hearing your voice?
Thank you so much, Professor. It's a realistic question. Realistic. Indeed, it is. Indeed, I myself faced during my research. Indeed, it is a fact. But that is how that we need. That is how we should create a convincing power. We should not go on. There are techniques, Professor, to convince the senior citizens, convince the children, convince our own wife, convince the children, convince the neighbors. There are techniques, Professor. Straight away, you cannot go and say that nothing will happen. Don't worry. Come with me. Go to the hospital. Put the vaccine. No. You need to take time. You need to spend time. You have to talk to them. You have to explain to them. You have to give them story. You have to give them moral story. You have to motivate them, inspire them. We should go on their own line. We should not go. We should not bring them to our line. We should go on their line. We should go along with them. We should walk with them. One day we may fail. Second day we may fail. Third day we may succeed. Professor, it's a consistent, persistent motivation required.
I think you also face with such type of cases.
Yes, Professor. On my research I have done. I have faced. In my daily life also I faced. Even daily I am facing, Professor.
Yes. Thank you.
Daily I am facing, Professor.
Sir, there is a next question.
Even along with my driver I am facing, along with my cook I am facing, along with the maid I am motivating them. I am motivating them. I tell them, instead of telling driver, I call, Bhaiya, namaste, how are you? Vaccine dala tha aap. Unhone khatarnak काम नहीं डाला. Then immediately I tell them, Bhaiya, I don't call driver. I said, Bhaiya, don't worry. मैं कल वैक्सीन डाला था. तो अच्छा लग रहा है मेरे को. मेरा दोस्त था, वो वैक्सीन डाला इसलिए मरा नहीं.
अच्छा.
वो बोलता है कि वैक्सीन कहाँ मिलेगा? बोला आ जाओ मेरे साथ, मेरे गाड़ी में बैठो. वो बोला हो वीसी साहब मेरे को गाड़ी में बैठ के लेके जा वैक्सीन डालने है. So that person, I don't want to use the word driver. That person would, what he will do? He will talk to 10 people, 15 people, 20 people.
Yes,
so
yes.
We get success, Professor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Sir, there is one question.
Ji, Professor.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
With negative information being circulated by the media, should the government take some action against the media?
Yes.
as many children are getting most information from the open source of India.
Correct. Wrong information. Correct. And for this, not only government, Honorable Supreme Court on 11th April had given a finest judgment saying that there must be a responsibility by the media. The fourth democratic should play a constructive role, not the disconstructive role. So Honorable Supreme Court has come very heavily towards the media, saying that don't portray wrong things for long and don't create panic among the citizens. I don't know how many of you learned professors would appreciate the point which is being made by Honorable Judge in Madras High Court on 10th April 20. Honorable Judge said that the Election Commission is the model of this during the COVID-19. And all these Election Commission members, all they went against the judge and filed a case in Honorable Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court very categorically said that the intention behind the Honorable Judge was not to create a kind of panic, not to create a kind of a crowd and so on. So that is the intention behind the judges saying that they are mass killers and so on. That is true. If a media portrays such wrong things in a vehement manner, aggressive manner, the children particularly going to be affected. And as you all know, the children, they don't share. They keep it. They keep it. It gives them depression. If the parents are not going to share with the children, what about the rural people? They don't share with anyone. What about the village level, block level, district level? They're going to be the sufferer. I agree with this great question said by one of the learned participants that the wrong information given by media, see, they are saying in Delhi, 1/3 is dying every day without oxygen. It is not true. It is not true. And the government is aggressively involved in collecting the oxygens, and more so, Honorable High Court of Delhi is responsible to pull the government. And there's a fear among the judiciary by the policy. They're running and making things all right. So how long you can say that oxygen nahi mil raha? Then by listening, by hearing, you die at home. But yeah, oxygen nahi mil raha. So you die at home. Like this, people are depressed, deprived.
So there is no more questions from the participants. So we will move forward. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. Wonderful opportunity, wonderful platform to explain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And created by this university. I really respect your university and thankful to your Vice Chancellor, organizers, behalf of UGC as expert committee member. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Thank
you have added more value to the program, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.